Hello, everyone. Welcome to Close to Home. This is Brennan Klaus, and I'm here with,
Tracy Erickson.
and we are back with another episode of Close to Home. How's it going, Tracy?
Good, good. I'm excited for our guest today.
Yeah, me too. If you don't know, one of the best places to get a sandwich in Capitol Hill currently is a little sandwich shop called HoneyHole. And we're super excited today to have the new owner of HoneyHole, Kristin Rye, with us. Hi, Kristen.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. Super excited. I know I've waited in line for a honey hole sandwich before. And
Yep,
it's
you're in good company.
one of many who wait in line for the sandwich. It's such a good spot.
Yes,
But what
we have a lot of people who are willing to brave that wait, and we appreciate it absolutely.
Yes, totally. We love that place. So let's start a little bit about with your background, Kristen. Kind of tell us a little bit about what did you do before you owned Honey Hole and how did you get into the restaurant industry?
I've had kind of an interesting career, I guess. My primary background is actually in finance and real estate. So we recently moved up to Washington. My husband is in aerospace and is a kind of software expertise. So he was recruited by Blue Origin to come up and build rocket ships. And it was like, well, that doesn't happen every day. Let's go. So that, brought me up here, obviously. And I'm always looking for something new and interesting. And so we had actually been looking for at businesses probably for 4 or 5 years, I would say, just in various aspects. And then, even though it was a pandemic and, kind of a weird time to buy a restaurant, that Honey Hole just felt like it matched us. And was a really solid business. If you are looking at a restaurant in a global pandemic that turns things on its head and it's still viable, it's a good place to be. Um, so not only Sean and Hannah, the previous and founding owners, um, just run a bang up business and really did a good job distinguishing not only their quality of food but the ethos with which they ran the restaurant. Um, so anyway, that's how we ended up at the Honey Hole. Was kind of a combination of getting to the moon and I guess finding the right fit at the right time. So the stars aligned.
That's
Nice,
So
awesome.
here we are.
nice.
So yeah, it's great. How did Honey Hole pivot? I know you weren't necessarily in the picture at the beginning of the pandemic, but you probably know or have seen now. What were some of the things that Honey Hole did to pivot during the pandemic, and how did that work?
So HoneyHole during the pandemic, we were actually one of in Sean and Hannah's leadership. Obviously, this was before my time. They were we shut down completely, kind of prior to it really being an acknowledged like, oh, this is really going to turn the world on its head. Um, so kind of through the beginning of the pandemic and then the whole CHOP Capitol Hill situation, they were totally closed down. Well, it just like was like, what is going on? And then they reopened for dine-in or for takeout only, excuse me, back in August of 2020, I guess that would have been.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and really had, they had taken the time to retool their whole operation because prior to COVID, Honey Hole, you could get takeout sometimes if there wasn't an hour wait. So they completely flipped it to 100% takeout. No one has, up until last week, no one had been inside the original Honey Hole Capitol Hill for over a year because it was takeout only. Because as you know, it's just this tiny little space that you get one additional person and you are crowded in and everyone's breathing on each other. So it totally flipped, like 100%, just 180 flip, which is not easy to do with an organization even the size of the Honey Hole. I mean, there's 30 employees who just on a dime flipped, um, which is incredible. So the staff and that ownership and all this stuff like really did a bang up job of just making it happen, understanding what the business demanded and needed, and getting it done. So so yeah, I don't know that they knew it was going to work, but it did, and that's where we're at now. Is we do have the luxury of kind of slowly unwinding that. We just were able to welcome people back in last week into, the Capitol Hill location. And so now we're flipping back, and thank goodness it's a little more gradual. But it does feel
Yeah.
great to have people back in again.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. I certainly, excuse me. I certainly remember, on lunch, if you didn't put your order in pretty early, you were
Tell
not
about
going to
it.
get a sandwich that day during your lunch.
Yeah.
So I certainly remember that. But tell us a little bit more. Sorry.
You're good.
Okay. Tell us a little bit more about the expansion now. So the newest news is really moving to
Yes.
a new, well, not opening a new location, keeping the Capitol Hill
Yeah.
location, and getting more space, bigger bar, a room that you can have events in. Tell us a little bit more about that and why that's so exciting.
So, I mean, all the things that, I think many could make an argument, probably many have, that the HoneyHole could have expanded probably a decade ago. Um, and there's no lack of requests for huge catering orders. Can we rent out the whole restaurant? All of those things. Our customers have been like, hey, can we do this for, as far as I am aware, at least a decade. So that's really kind of what this expansion is bringing more space and more resources to really meet our customers' needs, like what they have been asking us for 10 years now. So we appreciate your patience in finally getting around to it. But it's so exciting. We had our first big event in our private dining room at the Central District location. And it was fun. It was so much fun to have a big party come in. They were, someone was moving away, so it was like one of their first times that all their friends had been able to get back together. Um, and they can, they have the private dining room, the bar's right adjacent. So they were, they thought they'd be there for 2 or 3 hours, and they closed it down. And it was just really fun to be able to do that. That's not something we've ever been able to do, to accommodate that large of a group and not close operations, which is always, a bummer for someone or the other. Um, and then really, kind of facilitate that. So that's one of the things that we're very excited is, like, we do have a space where you can rent it out for a birthday, or I think we have a couple of wedding rehearsal dinners that are coming up. Just, all the celebrating that certainly HoneyHole hasn't been able to be a part of for the last 10 years, and no one's been doing for the last year, we're able to do now. So that's one of the things that I am most excited about is just, I mean, HoneyHole has always been a part of really important events in people's lives, and now we're able to do that in a much more, organized, I guess, and purposeful way, which is very
Mm-hmm.
exciting. We're stoked about that.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, I'm so curious, what is like your number one sellout item every day?
It kind of depends on the day. So or what someone says. Like, we're always, like, there's not a bad sandwich on the menu, right? And sometimes we do get blindsided by, like, example, last week Yelp Washington promoted our club sandwich, and it was obvious by like noon. We were like, crap, we're gonna run out of turkey today, what's going on? And so it's funny that we have to, like, I'm like checking our social media feed, I'm like, what's going on? And then I'm like, oh, it's the club, that's why we're out of turkey at noon already for the whole day. So it's wild, like, there's not a bad seller on the menu, and it seems like we see these weird spikes. Like, we have a pretty good idea of what our mix is every day, and like, you can set it almost like clockwork, unless there's someone who is like, hey, check this out, and then we inevitably run out of turkey.
And then everyone's checking it out.
Yeah, everyone checks it out, and everyone's like, oh, that's a rad club sandwich. And then it kind of, like, probably for the next 2 weeks, we're going to run, we just have to bulk up the amount of club ingredients that we're making. Probably the one consistent one is our Corleone. That's our pastrami. And that is, like, truly an in-house cured. It's a whole process. It takes us 2 weeks to cure it, this and that. The minute it hits the menu, it sells out, and we have to meter it. So that's the one that's always out. Just because, like, it takes a huge amount of refrigerator space. It takes, like, so much love to get it in there, and it's just always limited quantities. So the Corleone, if you get one, it's like a unicorn. Like, pat yourself on the back, and they're amazing. Um,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
no promises on that one, but yeah, we have like right now. Good luck getting a club sandwich. Not good luck.
Right.
Like you can get one,
Yeah.
but during the end of a lunch or dinner rush, it may not be available.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's different things that happens all the time where we're kind of, like someone will be like, "Oh, I just had this amazing sandwich," and it's random which one it is because we
Yeah.
just have such a deep bench of awesome sandwiches. Um, but yeah, right now it's the club. We had
Nice.
a couple days where we were like, wow, you're just running out of turkey here, friends,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
what's going on with the club? So thanks, Yelp Washington, appreciate it.
Yeah. Totally.
But yeah, let us
Totally.
know. We'll cook some extra turkey ahead of time next time.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So
And
yeah, no, it's
what?
an awesome problem to have, but sometimes it does throw us for a loop where we're like,
Oh, I'm
what's
sure.
going on?
And how has it been for you guys, you know, since you took over and, obviously COVID and what have you? Have most of your employees stayed
Oh yeah,
or
I mean, we've had some turnover just with people who are part-time or people, come and
yeah.
go. But all of our core members are still there. Like one of our kind of kitchen operations manager, Peter, he is coming up on 20 years. He'll be there for 20 years this
Wow.
September. And he's just been a
Yeah.
real like wealth of information, kind of a rock about, our preserving
Yeah.
that culture, that heritage, all that good stuff. Um, we have many employees who've been there 5, 6, 7, 8 years. We also had an employee who had left to kind of go, explore the wider world. And then when he heard about the expansion, I saw his resume come through and I was like, is this the same Jay, that was from before?
Yeah.
It was like, yeah. So we've actually had a couple people come back, um,
Wow. That's a huge
who,
testament to how,
yeah,
HoneyHole is running the bit or how that business is being run. It's a huge
yeah.
testament.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been great to see not only the core people who really kind of know and love the business really come together in ways that they haven't before. Like there's a lot of people
Yeah.
who are collaborating and working together who hadn't before, and then to welcome people back who are like, wow, this is an opportunity that I never imagined, but it looks like it's here, and
Right.
this was always a place I enjoyed and treasure. So we're
Yeah.
so flattered to have not only people stay but people come back, um, and be able
Yeah.
to, be the new guys who maybe don't know everything that is important to
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
have that knowledge available to us. So that's been
Oh my
amazing.
gosh. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's awesome. So if I wanted to get a honey hole sandwich for lunch today, how early would I have to order that?
Good question. So
Uh-huh.
today, Tuesday, you'll probably experience. We open our online ordering at 11:30. If you're in right away, you'll get your sandwich in 15 minutes. But if you're ordering it at 11:45, I make no promises.
Yeah.
So that's kind of always the best thing is like 11:30 our website opens. If it doesn't, we get like our phones get flooded. It's a good drill every day. So our staff is
Yeah.
working to make sure
Wow.
that online ordering goes on right away or the phones just go nuts. Um, but yeah, 11:30, put your order in
Yep.
online or be at
Yeah.
the door. And that first 15 minutes is like a solid 10-15 minute wait. And after that, I don't know.
Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah. Is there
Um,
anything else we should know about the new location? Anything upcoming that people should look forward to?
yes. So we're bringing back all our we're putting together a new happy hour menu that is really geared towards summer outdoor dining. We have a big patio out there. So as the weather gets nice, that's going to be the first space that fills up. We're already kind of seeing we see you who've come multiple both weekends that we've been open. There's been quite a few repeat. So we're gonna. It seems like the real estate out there is gonna get tied up pretty quick. But it's a fun space and it's just lovely this summer. So that's one of the things we're really excited about is to really be able to offer outdoor dining. And then we're building kind of our June project. One of our June projects is to kind of build a happy hour menu, and we may even have some new things that are coming out on the menu for that happy hour, kind of little snacks and stuff that we're working on. Actually, with our new smoker, we just upgraded. We have a huge smoker at our new place. We were kind of limited to what we could fit indoors at the Pike Street location in our tiny little kitchen, but at Jefferson, we were able to upgrade to like this beautiful, beautiful 500-pound smoker. So we have some excess
Wow.
smoking capacity now. So we're trying out some
Awesome.
new fun stuff that we're hoping to roll out kind of as some more like light bites, happy hour type stuff, really geared towards the patio. So stay tuned for that. And the best way to kind of keep up is we usually announce that stuff on Instagram and all that to keep everyone who wants to know. That's the best place to find it. But yeah, some fun outdoor activities coming along this summer.
Love it.
Cool. That's awesome.
Love it.
Yeah, tell everyone listening, where can they find you on Instagram, online, and then where is the new location?
So the new location is at 1305 East Jefferson, and we're right at the end of like the soccer field of Seattle University. You can probably smell us most days. Just follow your nose. And then online, the HoneyHole, our HoneyHole sandwiches is on Instagram, and then we also have a Facebook page, same name. And that's the extent of our like online activity. And then always you can order at thehoneyhole.com. There's links to all our social media and stuff there as well.
Awesome.
So yeah,
that's
kind of the best place to find us. And ordering for both locations is just on our website. There's parts that have each address. So that seems to work pretty well. We have had a few people whose like wives will order at one location and the husband will show up at the other. So be careful where you're ordering. There's choices now.
Yeah,
got it.
People are pretty good about it or whatever. And they're like, oh yeah, forgot. She ordered at the location. We've had a couple of those. But yeah, all good stuff. But yeah, probably the best place is just go to our website at thehoneyhole.com. All the links are out from there.
Awesome.
Perfect.
That's great. Yeah. I can't wait to visit the new location.
Yes,
yeah, me too.
Come on,
hang out, get on the patio for sure. It's a great time in summer to do that. So
yes, absolutely.
Yes, and there's definitely more space now. So the throughput at the kitchen at the Jefferson location is we still do get busy during the high season lunch and dinner rushes, but the space is just more available and the wait tends to be less at the new location, although
never know.
No promises.
Yeah, we're still working with a green crew over here. We've only been open about 2 weeks, so they're not as efficient as our original HoneyHole crew, but they're getting there. They're killing it. So yeah, we still do get busy at lunch and dinner, but it's usually less of a wait, and then you can always order ahead. We're pretty good at telling you how long it's going to be, and our pickup times are pretty on par.
Perfect.
Amazing.
Great.
So,
awesome. Yeah. Well, Kristen, thank you so much for being here. It was so fun chatting with you. We're excited to come by and check it out, and we hope everyone else will come by and see you all and get some delicious sandwiches.
Absolutely. We will be here, and yeah, we're really excited to have humans in our walls again, and really to just celebrate getting through the last year and all the events that we haven't been able to. So we're looking forward to it. Absolutely.
All right.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for being on the show today.